Today is Friday, November 13th, 2020. And today I'm thinking about the sky and how it just seems to me like the sky is lower than it used to be. And now I know that there's a firmament above us, so I think it just seems to me like the firmament is lower than it used to be. Sometimes it's almost like I can see the firmament, kind of in the same way as if you have a glass of water on the table, you can, even though it's see-through, you can kind of see it through its distortion. Sometimes I feel like I can see the firmament now. And I don't know if that's just because I'm awake now and I know it exists, or because it's lower and we can actually see it. But something that I feel these days is it seems like the clouds are really low in the sky. I don't remember the clouds being so low in the sky. And I suppose if the firmament was coming down and the firmament were lower than it used to be, I suppose the clouds might become lower than what they used to be. And so I just took this video this morning, and you can let me know what you think if the clouds are lower than they used to be. It sure seems that way to me. And of course, there's so much weather manipulation going on. Oftentimes I see this is something that anybody should be able to see, that there's drones, low flying drones. They try to make it look like it's a big airplane flying up high, but it's actually a small drone flying down low. And you can tell it's low because the clouds move so quickly over you. Anyways, so I just want to talk about these Bible verses. Isaiah chapter 34, verse 4. And all the host of heaven shall be dissolved. I think the word dissolved there is very interesting. We know that things dissolve in water, and there's waters above, and the host of heaven might be in the water. And there's this thing called, I think it's called sonoluminescence, that you can go look into. And I don't know, maybe the stars remind me of crystals. Maybe they're dissolving. Maybe the something that was stopping them from dissolving went away and now they're just dissolving. I don't know. I just think the word there, dissolved, is interesting. And the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their host shall fall down, as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. Fig is a really big symbol in the Bible. It's interesting that we have terms like figment of people's imagination. GIF is a big format for files, and it's fig backwards. But anyways, the sky's going to open up and stars are going to fall. You know the old saying, the sky is falling, the sky is falling? That's where this comes from. And I guess I'll just tell a personal story. This is right pretty much, I don't know, 5 years before I woke up. I was just driving. When I moved from California to Oregon, I was doing a lot of driving up from California to Oregon and then back down. And I just remember one time I was driving, and when you're driving on the 5, it's just you're going straight for a long time. And there's some places with a lot of open sky. And I just got this feeling. This feeling just came over me, like, and I didn't know what it was at the time, but it just seemed like a screen could just come down and just reveal a whole new place. I just had that feeling come over me. And now I know that that's probably what it's going to be like when the firmament opens up. So like I said, this was like 5 years before I woke up. So I hadn't read the Bible yet. I didn't know what the firmament was. And so I just had that weird feeling while I was driving. Every once in a while, you just get strange feelings. And I had a feeling like the sky could pull down like it was a screen. And it was funny because I told somebody about that, somebody that I knew, just a friend, and I told them that I had that feeling, and they got really concerned. Like it really spooked them out when I told them that I had a feeling like the sky could just pull back and there was something behind it. But now that's something, now I don't know, was that like a premonition? And every time I go down to California now, when I'm driving back up north, I'm like, maybe this is it. Maybe today's the day. The sky's going to open up. Matthew chapter 24, verse 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of heaven shall be shaken. I think this is what they talk about when they've been talking about the big one. I think they've known that we're in the end for a long time, and they've probably been ready to do the whole fake alien invasion for a long time now. Nobody knows the day that it's going to happen. And So these verses just remind me of, yeah, they're going to try to play this off as an alien invasion. That's what all their programming, they are just incessant with the outer space programming. So I think it's just pretty clear that they're going to take that angle. When Jesus comes back in the clouds and when the sky opens up, they're going to say that alien things are happening, but outer space is not real. Revelation chapter 6, verse 13, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. So there is a firmament above us. That's what causes thunder. The reason thunder echoes, they give you all sorts of strange reasons. So thunder can last a really long time, and it's because it's bouncing back and forth off the firmament and the ground, and it keeps echoing. It's echoing off the firmament, and they'll tell you very strange things. Buildings, nearby mountains, but the main factor behind thunder's longevity is the extreme length of the lightning bolt. I don't know, that doesn't sound right to me. I think what you're hearing is it. I think that you're just hearing it echo off the firmament, and that's why it sounds like it's in a contained, like it's an echo, like it's contained. So here's just another thing, that maybe the firmament has been slowly coming down over time, because I think that double rainbows are really common nowadays. I don't think that it's that rare anymore to see a double rainbow, and maybe that has something to do with the firmament being lower than it used to be. In my childhood, I don't really ever remember seeing a double rainbow or hearing about it, and it just became this viral thing with the double rainbow person, Paul Bear Vasquez, which he described as the eye of God. So just a few more things that might have something to do with the firmament being lower. I'll just finish this video. Maybe that's why the sun and the moon are brighter, because just the firmament is lower. And kind of a strange other topic that it's like related but backwards. It seems like only the brightest stars in the sky are what we really see anymore. The dim ones, I need a pair of binoculars now to see the more dim stars. So it's kind of this strange backwards thing where it's like the sun and the moon are brighter. It seems like the wandering stars are brighter. It seems like like the biggest, brightest, the constellation stars, those mostly seem brighter. But then a lot of the stars seem darker. And the Bible does say that in the end, the stars are darkened, and talks about a third of the stars, something about the third of the stars. Anyways, I guess the main point is that there have been clear signs in the heavens. The heavens are going crazy right now. The wandering stars have been so bright, and I could see, what they call Jupiter and the moons around Jupiter. None of that stuff is what they tell you. It's all optical stuff. I don't know exactly what it is, but I could see that stuff brightly with a pair of binoculars, and it shines brightly. NASA Outer Spaceland is not real. It contradicts the inverse square and the inverse square law, or whatever it's called. Just the fact that the farther away a light source is, the dimmer it is. But if you look at these things, they're shining brightly. I think I've said everything I need to say. Oh, Beetlejuice was doing something weird. This is just a random guess, but I think Beetlejuice could be wormwood, which is talked about in the Bible. Revelation chapter 8, verse 11, which is 8:11 is an 88. 88 is just something that comes up a lot. And the name of the star is called Wormwood, and the third part of the waters became wormwood, and many men died of the waters because they were made bitter. I think that wormwood is a massive thing up in the heavens, and this kind of goes back to the word dissolve. I think that it's like a crystal, some sort of mineral, and when it falls, it's going to crash into the waters, and it literally will bitter the waters and poison a bunch of people. And it's biblical. And I guess I just think it's interesting, all the worm stuff. When I picked my channel name way back, I hadn't really started reading the Bible at that point, and it's interesting all the worm connections that are in the Bible. It just something that is just kind of interesting to me. Anyways, that's it for this video. What do you guys think? Do you think that the firmament is lower than it used to be? I really do think it is.